is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys are feeling good. Hope you guys had a good 4th of July weekend. Nice little 3-day break. But we are back. We got AJ in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to Amy, Andrew, Bill, Brian's in the house. Good morning to Chad. Uh, Char- Charis? Let me know how to say that one. Give me another breakdown on that one. I want to say it correctly. Good morning to you. Good morning to Cindy. We got Dan. Doug is in the house. Good morning to Jeff, Joe, Keith, Kevin, Lauren, Lucian. We got Lydia in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to Martina, Michael, Tim, Virginia's in the house. All my people out in YouTube land. We got Bijal on the ones and twos. Good morning to you. Good morning to Mari Mars in the house. All my lurkers in the background. Just not gonna say nothing all day. It's okay. I still love you. Hit that like and subscribe button. I do have one screen today because I am traveling, but I'll be going back and forth to you guys on YouTube. So if I'm a little bit slower, that's okay. Just give me a break already. We had a 3-day weekend, but I'll get to you. I'll try to answer as quick as I possibly can to you guys as well. But we got SPY is gapping down a little bit, so. We had the one big beautiful bill get passed, get signed. Now we just got to wait for implementation and any final anything that has to go on with that. But so that did pass. Um, one of my concerns was that we getting some hype into the bill. Again, whether you like the bill, the one big beautiful bill, you don't. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if you like the Biden bill, the Obama bill, all of the bills uh they're actually good for the markets because the government is going to spend like there's a lot of spending. So that is the one downfall of any of the bills passed by any president ever is it just president or administration, but it adds a lot of money into the economy. So good for the markets, good for businesses usually. Obviously some sectors benefit more than others, but it does put out a lot of money into the economy. The downside to it, the real number, no matter what, they say tariffs and everything else that causes inflation. The number one thing that causes inflation is government spending. So watch like CPI is probably not going to hit right away, but that might be something that in the future we're looking at CPIs and they start to push up again, and then we'll see again long term. It's not going to be probably this month, but we'll start to see how inflation starts to move, and then what Jerome Powell has to do. Because keep in mind, we haven't talked about rate cuts in a while. We talk about it every time Jerome Powell is about to talk, but the market's priced it all in as like zero chance. And I think right now we're looking at September cuts. So we'll still see if the September cuts hold. But just some things to watch for down the pipeline. Other than that, um, yeah, we also have Elon going crazy. So we'll talk about Tessie. And SPY is gapping down a little bit. So still inside day of Friday's candle. Friday did hit a new high. It closed at a new all-time high. We have not actually even broken down that candle yet. We are on a pretty decent tear from the low of the SPY into from 591.93 to a closing price of, I gotta move this little thing, closing price somewhere around the 625.60 without really any pullbacks. Probably not the time you want to be buying. This is probably the America Party, which he can't even be president since he's not born in the U.S., so I don't know exactly how that would work. But yeah, Elon trying to start his another political party because I've always said we just need more. If I could get even more debates, if we could just bring it on. Otherwise, yeah, we haven't had a pullback. I'd be careful purchasing things. Wait for those pullbacks. You are pretty far extended from that. This red line is my 20 EMA. Otherwise, in terms of moving averages, you're stacked all pretty perfectly. You look good momentum. I think dips start to get bought, but I just don't know if this is a big enough dip to really interest too many people. So see how this plays out. But this is a gap and go to the downside today. We'll see if we break Friday's opening price, and then maybe some more pressure comes in. Otherwise, I got 620 as my first target for today to the downside. If we can break through that one, you got about 617.92. And then I think your big target, your big level in this one is 616.54, and maybe you wick down to like this 614.96. But that would have to be pretty insane selling, I think, for us to get to that point. I think we Emily also posted in Slack something about Bassett. It must have been right before I hopped on, but he was pretty much saying we might get two new or a couple new trade deals this week within the next 48 hours. So we'll see if the market still cares about trade deals anymore. But we'll see. We'll see how that everything plays out. Otherwise, to the higher side, watch for that 625.81 if they just buy the dip at open. See if we can start breaking through that one, and then just looking for all-time highs again. If this market wants to continue to run, we'll see if the Qs are holding up any better than the SPY today. A little bit worse, I think. Still okay. Look for resistance on the Q somewhere around 556.64 if we can make it back up there. There is, if there's bulls out there, and there is, but if there's bulls out there today at the open, I can give them credit. If you don't break down yesterday's candle, you could probably have a very tight stop, good risk reward if bulls come in right out of the gate. Doesn't really look like that. It looks like it is a gap and go. We are still hanging into the very bottom of that candle. But if bulls just buy it, we don't really sell. Look for that 556.51-ish, somewhere around that zone. That should be your next target to the higher side, and then it would be all-time highs. Otherwise, Qs really support comes in somewhere around 550.43. You have a decent level around there, with maybe a little bit of a if it continues to go 547.75, and then see if we get that close back above 550. But a little bit of room to the downside, kind of almost smack in the middle of the first support, first resistance on Qs. So maybe a little bit of a chop to start today. We'll see how this one wants to play out, but slight bear edge, very short term. Long term trend still massively bullish. Bitcoin didn't really do a lot this weekend. They had a good shot. They were getting above some really good spots on the chart. You didn't break past this 110 78. That came in on Thursday. You have your next target up to 111,288. Have not hit that one yet. That would be a really, really interesting retest to see what happens on that one. If we can get closing past it, great. Otherwise, we have not really closed past this 110.78 since June 9th. And still decent. Looks to me like a little bit of a bull flag still on Bitcoin, but obviously a little bit of a wild west of trading. Otherwise, there's your bull flag. If we close like this today, this candle's still open, obviously, but if we close above that, that would set us up for the next break. Otherwise, for now, the only red closing candle is this one from the 4th, July 4th. If we can get above that candle for now today, if we do some kind of crazy bull run, looks like it's just going to stay probably inside that pennant pattern for today, unless some news comes out, something crazy. But yeah, let me know if you guys got tickers. I see a couple coming in. The first one we will check out is Tesla, home of the next political party, apparently. Not a great gap. Again, we had a good bounce on Tessie with the little surprise of some of the estimated car deliveries being beat. That came in on, I think it was the second. Stayed in a decently good location. Bulls have a really good shot. The one thing you don't want to see, you thought maybe, all right, big beautiful bill gets passed. Elon wants to cool it on the Jets a little bit of tweeting and truth social. I don't think he truth social. He just tweets X's, I guess. But he's coming back out. He's going full ballistic again, which it's his right. He could do what he wants to do, say what he wants to say. God bless America. But as an investor, no, you want to be focused on the cars. You want to be focused on putting the investors first in stocks. And that is a sideline, and that escalates again, just a battle with the president of the United States, who you were allied with at one point, and that has obviously deteriorated since. So not good. I don't think, and I think if you're bullish on this one, you're starting to just get tired of. Okay, they did something good, and then he just comes in, steps on his own feet again. So we'll see if this holds, but not a great open. You got 295.54 is your first uh little resistance. You are gapping past down 3 VPOCs. You're still at the low end of this one candle from July 1st. We'll see if that ends up breaking down. Targets to the downside. The one good news, I guess, for bulls is you do have a little little breaks. I think we almost got here on that last move. You don't see it here because it's after hours, but somewhere around this like 287 zone, I'd look for support. But on that day, we already got down there. Probably a little bit easier to break, and then I do have untested VPOCs back to like 273.86. So we'll see how much of a strong push this one wants to have. Chart doesn't look that good anymore. You do hit and have a clear double top. You do have lower highs. The only thing kind of saving us is, well, up till today. We'll see where today closes, but you did put it in a higher low as well. So long-term pennant pattern, you are still barely in it, but with this gap, you might be just on the outskirts of that, and that could cause a little bit of continued craziness on Tessie. So we'll see how that goes. I think I prefer a short rather than a long on it, especially knowing Trump and Elon. Um, they don't. It's not usually a one comment and then it's over. They usually if Elon could go quiet for a while, bulls have a chance. If Elon starts putting more tweets out today, you're gonna see probably immediate impact from that one. You got Circle, pretty good gap. It is a retest gap though. See if you get a tad pullback. Pullback might come into 186.77. That'd be a very interesting spot. Really good risk reward on a swing basis if we do get that pullback. It is gapping up, so it looks a little bit different than the market. Otherwise, if you get a small pullback, watch this 190.46. Bulls already did the difficult job of getting past there. We've been up there once before, just didn't hold. You're in 4 days of chop. Maybe this is a breakout. If you do have that breakout, look for like 203.10 as some kind of first resistance, and then if it wants to have a wild day, it can. This bad boy moves, but if this one could go a little crazier, you got 218.41, which would be a really really solid trade. Nonetheless, you probably can make a couple pennies on that first target as well. Let's add this one to the list, get this one higher. That would be an interesting one, but I do want a little bit of a dip, little pullback first, and then we kind of go from there. Now we just got to figure out how to get these things to the top of the list quicker as the list continues to build over time. I refuse to take names off. Sometimes when the stocks get delisted, then they come off. Amazon, that looks pretty bullish today. Not too bad. It is again retest gap. You're still inside day from I want to say Friday, but Thursday, which was also a shortened day too. But you do have still inside of that. Look for pullback on this one, 222.87. See if it wants to hold that one. Next target on this one, if we get that pullback, kind of approaching it a little bit. You got 224.65. I think that makes me want to pause on just getting real aggressive out of the gate right away. 224.72 maybe. Otherwise, past that point, again, if we could get past it, there's good trades. You got 226.65 would be your next target, and then ultimately, I do think probably looking for this like 229.21, but that's probably not today. Looks good. Pretty solid volume candle on this one. We've just rested. It looks like a 3-day resting period, and they did try to push it on Thursday. Good close to it. Above all previous VPOCs, but see for today if we get a little pullback first, and then maybe good to run. Let's see. CLX. Clorox. Has been just death spiraling since we'll call it November. Has not really had any new higher highs. Unfortunately, we might not still have new higher highs unless you're going very small time frame, which would be 122.42. Their divvy has to be pretty good. Let's see. CLX dividends. Let's see. 4.61. That's not bad. That's not a bad divvy. Wait, hold on. They're giving me Chevron's dividend. I don't want CVX. I want CLX. Don't autocorrect me. I don't know why they keep flipping it. I thought CLX has a divvy. Yeah, they definitely do. You get a buck 22. Looks like every quarter. I don't know why Google does not want to give it to me though. Very strange. Short Google today, I guess. They're not even giving me correct. ChatGPT wouldn't mess that one up. Yeah, check what the divvy is. I imagine it's probably pretty decent at these levels. Other than that, first big target, and again, good selling volume on this high wave candle. We dipped a little bit before. It might be good for a swing trade. You're gonna have to battle moving averages all the way up. Otherwise, your next immediate target. Um, if we get a big pullback on this one, I think 120.97 gives you a really good opportunity to attempt it. It does look like it's trying to break out of that downtrend. Next target to the higher side, about 126.82. Typically, for day trade purpose, CLX does not really move too wide of ranges. We'll see if anything else comes out about it today. Correction to how the owner of Hidden Valley Ranch learns to love AI article. Don't tell me CLX is going AI. I didn't see that one coming. Um, we'll see what happens. Otherwise, target to the higher side today, 126.78. We'll get that one a little bit higher. Keep it on the watch list. Maybe a decent swing. If we can get probably a tight setup on it, then maybe as a day trade as well. But we'll push CLX a little bit higher for today. Still don't know why Google doesn't want to give me any info on CLX. Got run. Run is gapping. Let me check a couple others first. First solar. That one's at the high of yesterday, so no real move. It's been on a kind of a little breakout. SEDG. That one's pulling back slightly. So out of all three, run would be decent. My guess is we're probably getting gap up again. Some of the names before the big beautiful bill was signed, they were saying that it would actually hurt solar companies, and then there's been rumors that it might help some of them. So you've had a significant rebound on some of these things. I've got a big volume zone at 1188. All the solar names, even though some of them are still gapping down a little bit in comparison to the rest of the markets, they are actually holding fairly decent today. And Run does look like one of the stronger ones. That being said, I would have had big resistance around $10.73. We did hit that actually perfectly on Thursday. See if we do get a pullback. You got a few days green in a row, nice little uptrends. If you don't want to wait for the pullback, your immediate target probably about $11.35, and then look for this $11.78 mark. So if we can get that pullback, watch that first spot to hold somewhere around $10.76, $10.73, somewhere in that range. Otherwise, if it doesn't hold, you're looking for full retest, $10.46, but you're still a lot higher than you would have been on what is that, June 17th? Yep, June 17th. So up a lot, almost 100% since that point. So pretty fantastic run for it. I'd have to wait for pullbacks if I'm going to try these, but it does look a little stronger than some of the other names similar. The sympathy names. Palantir. Palantir is hanging out. Struggling with that 20 EMA for now. Again, you're still living in the nightmare of this one big sell-off candle. Lots and lots of volume to it. Good news for the bulls, at least, is we're not breaking it down quite yet. Targets to the downside for an immediate day trade, I'd be looking for somewhere around 132.24. If that breaks down, you got 130.33. It is a gap and go in the bearish direction. However, just a high wave candle. Um, you really kind of have to look at, I think, this candle until this candle actually gets taken out. And that VPOC is somewhere around 138.19. I think putting a stop above there, if you're looking for a short side on it, just kind of seeing if this candle wants to hold. That's probably what I would think for a swing trade to the downside. If you like it, it's gonna be a tough one. It is still Palantir. It's just been astronomical bullish run that it's put in. Other than that, still hanging out inside that high wave candle. Not a great open unless we start, at least for today, getting above 134.23. Then you have some room up to like 137.45 today. See if we can retest that one. Otherwise, to the downside, for today, you got 132.16 as support, and then that big one, 130, what is it, 130.33. We'll see if that can get taken out as well. But for right now, it's kind of just looking like it's chilling. Biggest biggest flag on this one is still this candle until we actually take that out. Let's see, SMCI. The 7,500 EV credit is chopped in the bill. Um, yeah, well, I still think they're trying to phase it out by completely by 2028 for clean energy. But market sees some value there. You got SMCI retest gap from Thursday, also kind of approaching. Right now, Tesla looks like the best actual breakout. Everything else kind of looks a little choppy so far. You got 47.54 would be your target to the downside. It's only going to give you about 40 cents roughly to hit targets to the downside. It's a retest gap. Maybe if you get that pullback, I don't really have great risk reward on this one. To the higher side, I'm looking for like 48.38. If we do a crazy push, bullish, you got 49.02. But yeah, I don't see anything too crazy where I could really say I have a huge edge on this one. We're still just really in some chop. Again, you're kind of split between your next target, next resistance. So I'd probably not touch it until either 47.54 hits. And if you do like it bullish, that's probably where you're going to enter. Stop somewhere to the vicinity of like 46.29-ish. And that would be more of a swing trade. Or wait for it to hit this 48.38. I probably wouldn't throw out a blind order on that one. See what happens. If you get through it, then look for like 49.04. Stop somewhere around $50.70, and then see if you get some kind of maybe day trade. It might be tight enough for day trade as well. We'll see. But nice breakout. This still looks very bull flaggish to me at this point until we actually start breaking down, but just sitting a little sideways. Uh Carice. There we go. Carice. Okay. Now I got it. We got Coinbase for Carice. Cariz? Actually, is it Cariz? Now I just confused myself again. I don't think it's Carice. I think it's Cariz. We got Coinbase. I'm gonna get it. I promise. Either that or I just never get it. One of those two options will be true. We got Coinbase. That looks sticky. That's a lot of resistance above us. It is a gap and go to the bear side. I think I found my new favorite short. Coinbase. But we have to get candles to close below 350.60. That gives us a lot of room to the downside, all the way down to 343.68. We're still right now in the chop. Depends on where this one opens. Depends on that first candle, how we close. If we're in this zone, then I'm probably not going to touch it. If we start getting candles closed below 350.60, I'm going to be looking for some kind of short. And I think you get about $7 to the downside on that one. So that might have some room, and then a bigger target if it just keeps going, somewhere down to 336.90, and you have a fantastic trade on that one. Anything above 353.27, I would stop looking bearish and just repeat the bullish side of things if we could get above there. So you do have a really good risk reward on Coinbase if it can actually break down. We got Hood. Hood is inside day retest gap at support. Probably opening candle, chop, high wave. I think it probably retests. I think if you're looking to go short on again, a really, really powerful move that we just put in, probably does have to pull back. We are far extended from a lot of those moving averages. But this is probably more of a retest gap on this one inside day. I think if we're going to go short, try to short around 94.10. Anything above that, you're probably using those emergency stops. And then the next spot is about 98.70. And I don't want to short up there because there's just too much momentum. So a little bit of room to the downside. I'd see if you could at least go higher. And again, for a swing trade, maybe if you're throwing your stops somewhere around 90, right above 98.70, so 99.50, maybe above this candle. That might be your opportunity to try a short, but it still looks pretty bullish. I think you're still going counter trend if you're trying to short that one. So a little less room, I think, on this one. Short that one as high as you can for day trade. Soundhounds. Um, Again, a little bit of a retest gap from Thursday outside of the uh daily candle. So probably looking for a short. $11.04 on this one. You have your first little support. I don't know how much this is gonna really, I wouldn't put this as a strong support, but somewhere around $10.89. I think you have a much better support, somewhere around $10.71. So I think if you're gonna take this trade, you're probably looking for the full push on this one to really make it worth it risk to reward wise. But that would be $10.72 would be your target on this one. Wait to see if you could short this one a little bit higher at minimum $11.04. If you could get back to $11.12, you have much better risk reward on it. But yeah, it looks a little choppy. UPS bearish engulfing candle at the 100 on Thursday. It is gapping down slightly. Also, a little bit of a retest gap. It has a lot of room to the downside. This one might be a decent short down to 102.41. Question is, how do you get into this thing? Probably looking at if this thing could get bid up. Maybe a high wave candle. If you get a green high wave candle, you could probably take a breakdown on it. Otherwise, the closer you get to like 104.60 would be a best bet for short. So again, see if we get some buying from that one, but you do have some room to the downside. We did fail at the 100, not able to take it out. Watch this candle from Thursday, or more or less watch that candle from Wednesday. I think we start getting any closes back above 105.50. That's going to be your early indicator that maybe we could continue to push higher from here. But pretty big move already on UPS, and they're just kind of maybe pulling back a little bit. Maybe needs to rest and let the 20 and the 50 start trying to push a little bit close to that 100. We'll see if there's some chopping here, but as a swing trade, 105.44-ish, somewhere around there would be your first sign if you get past it, and then confirmation really comes if you could take out this red candle. That would set it up. You have the divvy on the chart. Just hover over it. Yeah, that was from before. I'm behind on messages, so I'm catching up to Google. The Googs. Let's take this off. How is that the morning bell? That's wild. Google looks interesting if we could hold above 178.90. Next little resistance on this one, 179.72. But on the breakdown thing, next support 178.26, and then you have actually a lot of decent amount of room back to 176.73 if it wants to go a little further. But that is the morning bell. So everybody in YouTube land, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button if you've not done so already. Other than that, be safe in the markets, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Later, guys.